got down to South Florida, like the first month I was there, as we mentioned about martial arts, me and my dad had been training for years, and trained in all this controlled environment. Like back then we had the 20 by 20 ring or whatever it was.
Oh, that's a big difference when you get road testing.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm in that ring. When we train every day, and it's like your opponent be on that side, I'm over here, referee over here, and he's like, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3," and then we would spar, right? Like in a controlled environment. When I got to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, I'm walking through the mall one day, and I find out that's not how the real world works. Down there is gangs and a whole nother world that I knew nothing about. And I'm walking through the mall within the first month I'm there, and all of a sudden I just get blindsided. Boom. Like I'm 14 years old or whatever, and I just get, swung on by a 20-something-year-old gangster. They thought I was in some other gang. I wasn't, but I just happened to be wearing a certain shirt or colors, and I hadn't been there long enough not to know, that I shouldn't wear it. And I'm looking up from the bottom of the floor of the mall, saying, "What just happened?" And I went back to my dad. I was like, "We got to train different." Like, he didn't say, "Hold on, are you ready? 1, 2, 3," before he swung at me. He just swung at me, right? Like, that's not how we've been training. So, and with this situation with my daddy, it was the same way. Life is going along. Everything is, so-called good and safe and comfortable. And boom, life hits me with a brick. And now I've got to figure out how to get up off the mat. And I went to every counselor, therapist, psychologist, doctor, pastor, grief share, Christian counselor in my city. I'd went to 6 or 7 therapists from Harvard and Yale to the local community college, and nothing worked. Nothing worked. Nothing could get my mind to just calm down. Nothing could do it. And I basically, over that 7-year period, lost everything that I had put up in the music business. Like I had businesses everywhere through the city and stuff put up from the music, money put up. But every day it was like my money was getting a little bit less because I couldn't really work. I wasn't in the clubs anymore. I couldn't even go into my businesses and watch them. I'd go in for 1 hour, have a panic attack in the store, and have to run back home. So I did everything I knew how to do to get better. But it just was not clicking. No matter what they said, I just didn't feel like I connected with the therapist. I feel like they were just there for the money. I guess an hour,
Sure. If you don't, maybe that's a never-ending well right there.
Yeah, it's like we keep them here for 2 or 3 years, and I'm going through hell. Literally, 10 minutes is a lifetime when you're worrying about breathing.
Sure. That's what Mike Tyson's like. Everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face.
Right.
And then even when you're out, the only way to resolve some of that is to take a breath.
Right.
It's like you couldn't get any better because you didn't even know what better was.
Nothing.
Like if you go underwater without taking a breath, like on the exhalation, you're going down. Yeah, you can go a long way.
Right.
You can do a lot of stuff, but then when it starts coming undone, it starts coming undone quick.
Quick.
So if you build that cycle up and the way you're doing it now, that positive, it's a brick by brick thing. It's like you can scare people into loving you, but once they're not afraid of you, then that's gone.
Right.
But if you come in on the back end like, "Hey man, I just came here to bleed for you, take as much pain." You take pain for people, and they'll get out of your way.
Right.
That's the respect that the blessing I have is my ability to take pain for other people, because most people don't want to do it.
Amen.
So when you notice that when you know someone will do that for you, and then they won't say anything else, it's open to. I never knew that was the case, because if you throw attitude on top of it, then they're like that. But if you stay humble, then that's and it's hard, man.
Amen.
Because the fights get more intense. You ain't never been whipped, man. You ain't fighting the right people.
Right.
That's the only way you're gonna learn something about yourself, man. And then when all of a sudden it's kind of like they keep stepping on you and stepping on you. I've been to the point where I was on my face, felt like they were jerking my back out from me, like in your mind. Right. And then you get to the point where you're like, all right, that's just enough, right? And take that deep breath, and when you come up, it's different.
Right.
This is the Team Never Quit podcast. So buckle up, Buttercup.